Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video. Today I'm doing a review of a Star Wars action figure, something a little bit different for the YouTube channel. Star Wars action figure being the Mandalorian from Star Wars Black Series, the Mandalorian from the TV show of the same name, the Mandalorian. Yeah, I got it from a place called Cosmic Toys here in England or the UK, or England even. And yeah, I really want to go to the shop, the Cosmic Toys, but as I say, this is the first time I've ever actually got anything from them. I got it via the internet, considering the circumstance we're all having to go through currently. But yeah, first of all, I'll be going over the level of detail this action figure has. So yeah, you know, just amazing detailing, like from the bullets on his leg and that, to like pouches and bits of armor, and then indentations and sort of scuffs and bullet marks and that, and you know, detailing on the hand plate and that, and just, you know, so much detailing on the belt and that. You've even got like a holster here, so you can put the pistol, which I'll come on to later, in here and that, and lift that up and actually place it there, and that. And then, you know, the main bit is the pouch on the body, is the pouch sort of bandolier, or even, and has like some more bullets there and some more pouches on the side of the belt, and then some more armor. I'm not sure if this armor is Veskarian. Is that how you pronounce it? I can't remember now, but I don't know if that's this armor or if it's later armor that he gets. But yeah, and again, yeah, just more scuffs and beating up sort of thing. Likewise with the helmet, which is just superbly done. You know, it's got sort of silver sort of, but with like a dark wash over it, and then like bits of brown on it, so it looks like it's worn. It's like he's, you know, like seen, like the helmet's been through, you know, the ringer, as it were. And I quite like the sort of dark brown with the sort of lighter brown armor as well. It's kind of slightly mismatched, but then it's not, because it's still both the same colour but just slightly different, you know, sort of colour, well, sort of shades of the same colour, you know. Again, like this dark brown with this sort of lighter-y sandy brown with this sort of really dark oak wood sort of brown. And as I say, the helmet is just superb. You know, you've got the traditional sort of Mandalorian visor, and then some detailing on the sides, and that, and then on the back as well as this sort of like cape as well, which is just so nicely sculpted with a lot of detailing, so it does actually feel like, or look even like a piece of fabric, like a cloth sort of thing, even though it's plastic and that, or like a rubbery type thing. And that, I'm not sure if you can take the head off and then remove the sort of cape, or part of the cape sort of thing. There are some peg holes here, which ideally are for the blaster or the big sort of bolt gun that he has, but the problem there is that I find that very difficult to actually do that, you know, so that's kind of annoying. But I'll move on to accessories now. The two main accessories he comes with are his trusty pistol, which is just superb for such a small, like, you know, accessory. It's really nicely detailed and that, and yeah, really just superbly done. Like, it looks like pretty much like the prop, you know, in the show and that, so that's awesome. And as I said to you before, you can put it in the holster, or you can have it held in the holster, or you can have him displayed with the gun obviously in his hand. Like so, sort of thing. I haven't properly done it, but yeah. So there's that sort of gun which is neat. Which, as I say, you can kind of put in the holster as well. It's pretty sort of secure there as well, and then he also comes with this really big sort of blaster rifle, like almost like a hunting rifle almost, with the sort of brown sort of part where he'd rest it on his shoulders, and then you've got like the scope and the sort of rest of the detail of the barrel and that, and then the end bit, which kind of looks more like a trident almost, you know. And I'm pretty sure this weapon is seen in the Star Wars holiday special, if I'm not mistaken. I think in that animated bit with Boba Fett and that. So yeah, and again, that can be kind of sort of held by the Mandalorian. You know, in such a fashion that he comes across as though he's looking down the scope and sort of sniping someone, you know, from up top, and that, you know, and collecting his bounty, you know. It looks, you know, superb, as I say, and that. And then, you know, the last bit, which is always the trickiest, honestly, for me, is the articulation. You know, you've got, I'm pretty sure, like full 360, no, maybe, no, full 360 head even, and it's on a ball joint, so you can look up and down, and as I say, sort of side to side a bit, but then you can kind of pivot it so it looks sort of as I say, like sort of diagonally and then down and that. You've got feet articulation, you've got knees, knee articulation, sort of arms can sort of go in at a joint and that, and then they can also pivot or swivel even. They can swivel and that. The hands go sort of, can kind of move as well, like so. And then, as I say, you can move the feet around in at the knee joint as well. So you're going to have him sort of in a more action pose, like stance, and that. So you could have him more in an action pose sort of thing, but obviously I'm having the TARDIS sort of hold him there, and that with the pistol maybe, or with the, as I say, the sort of bolt rifle sort of thing. And sort of lastly, you can have the, as I said before, the rifle displayed on the back of the Mandalorian, like it often is in the show. So, you know, so it looks pretty badass, you know. The only problem is that because of the cape sort of thing, the two kind of get in each other's way, and I often find myself actually kind of getting frustrated and angry with the pegs at the back, and that. So yeah, it's not really as easy as it should be, which, as I say, is kind of annoying. Yeah, because then you have like the cape at the back just sort of not being able to sort of go where it needs to go, because then when you move that usually means that the gun's gonna fall off, and that and it's, as I say, very annoying. So yeah, overall though, I'd give this like a well-earned 9 out of 10. It's a really good figure. I mean, as I say, the only real issue is the fact that this sort of thing doesn't go into the peg very easily, and already you can see that this one, I've tried to jam it into the sort of peg, the gap and that in his back so many times that it's kind of got damaged and a bit warped and that, or like a bit more sort of damaged, which is really annoying. And also, as I say, you can't really have the cape disguise it or hide it as much, because then the cape is kind of being like pushed by the gun and that's kind of irritating and that. So yeah, but then, as I say, if you move the cape, then the gun falls off and that. But other than that, detailing wise, it's breathtaking. And also accessory wise, it only comes with 2 accessories, but they are actually really good. Like the level of detailing on the blaster, from the sort of silencer almost to the actual handle, and the sort of detailing on the sort of the whole thing is just superb. And again, with the sort of bolt rifle, with from the sort of trident end to the scope and the rest of the barrel, and detailing to the sort of more hunter-esque sort of resting piece that it has, again are just stellar. And then the level of detail on the figure, and then the articulation's pretty decent as well, and that it's just a bit more. Obviously, I'm not used to reviewing Star Wars figures on this channel, so it's a bit more sort of different from the usual Doctor Who figures I review, and so there are quite a few other bits and pieces and things that swivel outwards and sort of left or right, and that, like the arms, instead of just going sort of outwards, can kind of like swivel or pivot and that, you know, like around and around sort of thing almost, you know, and that, which is a bit weird. But yeah, as I say, a well-earned sort of 9 out of 10 sort of figure. It's a really good, sort of very posable, sort of awesome figure, which I would highly recommend if you're a big fan of the the new Star Wars Mandalorian show. So yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, rate and subscribe.